Welcome everybody. We don't need any props today unless you know that you like to use some support for whatever we're going to be doing, some classic poses, some pranayama, and we're starting lying on the back with the knees bent. So lay down on your back, arms next to your sides, knees bent, just an easy, relaxing position. Maybe close your eyes. Find your breath. And relax. So start bringing your awareness inward. And just rest. Just make sure there's no effort involved in that. Relax completely and enjoy your breathing. Soften the breath, soften your whole body. Okay, let's start gentle movement, warming up. So place your feet for bridge. So bring your ankles underneath the knees, feet and knees about hip distance apart, arms down. And then on the next inhalation, bring the pelvis up, arms roll over the head. On the exhalation, lower everything down. So try to touch the lower back to the floor at the same time as your hands touch the floor when you're coming down. So timing that movement with the breath. And now start the 5 count for your breath. 5-second inhalation or count. It does not have to be second, just 5 count to the inhalation and then 5 count to the exhalation. And now extend that count to 6 and do a couple of repetitions with the 6th count breath. And softly inhale, come up, and then gently exhale, come down, timing the movement with the breath. So this will help us. And see if you can come up a little bit higher the next time. For a little bit deeper back bend, and then release. Finish. And then on your next inhalation, come up to bridge. Keep the arms down, and you can clasp the hands underneath your back. The chin is neutral. Roll the shoulders underneath you. 5 breaths here. Soften. And on the next exhalation, slowly lower down. So release the hands first if you have them clasped, and then slowly lower down. Okay. So keep your arms on the floor, palms down. And now bring the knees into the chest. Keep the arms down, do not hug the knees. So bring the legs as close to the chest as possible, but keeping the lower back down. Okay. So this, our next movement, also aligned with the breath, is on the inhalation. Arms roll over the head and legs straighten at the same time. And then on the exhalation, bringing everything down. Okay, let's bring a 5 count to this. So inhaling for the count of 5, moving the legs and the arms, and then exhaling for the count of 5. One more time. Now continue this movement, but now 2 times with the count of 6. So slowing it down even more. So 2 times, count of 6. And the next one is the count of 7, slowing it down even more. 2 times with the count of 7, inhalation and exhalation. Maintain your smooth, even breathing. And then 2 times for the count of 8, even slower. So maintain smooth, even breathing. Completely fill the lungs on the inhalation, and then completely empty the lungs on the exhalation. So 2 times with a count of 8. And then after you're finished with that, place the feet down. And take a few resting breaths with the knees bent, arms resting next to the body, or you can place your hands on your body. And then roll over to one side and come up to tabletop, all fours. Okay, your abdominals are lightly engaged. Tuck the toes. And now we're gonna alternate between tabletop with the arched back on the inhalation. So let's start this. Inhale, arch the back, lift the chin, and then on the exhalation, lift and push back into downward dog. And then inhale, bring the knees down and arch the back. So 5 times, please, with the breath. Pull the navel back towards the spine on the exhalation. Keep the belly firm. And after you're finished with 5 repetitions, stay in downward facing dog. If for some reason you would like to exclude the downward dog from your practice today, you can take your puppy dog pose, the alternative, still stretching the spine and the shoulders. Okay, so either in downward dog or in your puppy dog pose, bring your inner gaze to your navel, to the belly button, and keep it there. Keep focusing on that area, the belly button. Breathe. And pull the belly towards the spine on the exhalation. About 5 breaths. And bring the knees down. And here you have a choice. You can either sit on your heels, maybe block in between the legs, if that works for you. If this is uncomfortable for you, sit cross-legged. Any comfortable seated position. You can sit in the chair for this one. So we're going to do some pranayama, breath exercises. Okay, so most of you are familiar with the Kapalabhati breathing. If you are familiar with Bhastrika, you can do Bhastrika instead of Kapalabhati. If you do not know what that is, just forget about it. Don't worry about it. You try for Kapalabhati. So it's a strong, sharp exhalation and then a relaxed inhalation. You're inhaling by relaxing, and it happens on its own. So if you've never done this before, try your exhalation through the mouth. So it looks like this. Inhaling, pulling the belly in at the same time. So you can try exhaling through the mouth a couple of times. Again, if you're not familiar with that. If you are familiar with that, you will be breathing through the nose. We're going to do 3 rounds of 11. Or if you are proficient in your pranayama, do your own practice at this time, okay? Either Kapalabhati or Bhastrika. Okay, so let's start. 3 rounds of 11, and in between the rounds, you will take 3 smooth, long, even breaths at your own pace. You don't have to. Let me show you what it sounds like, or it's hard to see, but you might be able to see. Like that. But you can do it at your own pace. Okay, let's go. Next round. Maintain the length in the spine as you're doing it. Last round. Okay. And now 6 rounds of Nadi Shodhanam, the alternate nostril breathing. So we will do 3 rounds and then switch the nostrils. So if you want to use the traditional gesture, you will fold the index finger and the ring finger, not the ring finger, the middle finger, and use your ring finger and the thumb to open and close the nostrils, or in any way that's comfortable for you. Just try not to, sometimes what happens is people lean towards the hand. So keep your spine extended. So nice verticality in your spinal column. Shoulders relaxed, head balanced over the shoulders. Okay, so take a deep inhalation through both nostrils. Then close the right, slowly exhale through the left. Pull the belly in as you exhale. Then inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And now take 3 slow breaths with both nostrils. Close your eyes. Stay here a little bit longer. Bring your awareness to the solar plexus. Take another couple of breaths. And feel the sense of awakeness, of vitality filling your body and your mind. Sense of aliveness. Okay, now tuck your chin. Exhale. Now lift the head and gently and mindfully come up to standing. Okay. All right. Let's take the right foot forward for warrior one. So imagine there are 2 parallel lines on your mat, and that's where your feet are. So your hips are and your right foot are pointing in the same direction. Both legs are straight. Okay. So we're gonna do the warrior one dynamically first, and then we'll hold. So the suggestions here is to lean forward a little bit. So this is your warrior one regularly, right? So now I'm asking you to lean forward once you come into your warrior one, and that will relieve the lower back a little bit. But starting with the legs straight, arms down. Okay, on your next inhalation, bend the knee, bring the arms up, lean forward a little bit, and then exhale, come back up. 5 times. 3, 4, and on the 5th time, we'll hold. Engage your root block. Pull up the pelvic floor. Abdominals engaged. And now open your arms with a slight bend to your arms. So you're opening the chest. 5 breaths. Lift the chest up a little bit more. Good. And then release the arms. And take your left foot forward, coming to Tadasana at the front of your mat. Okay, the other side. Now the left foot forward, right foot back. Both legs straight. Okay. Inhale, bend the knee, bring the arms up, lean forward. Exhale, come up. 5 times. And on the 5th time, hold. Strong legs, abdominals engaged. Lift up the perineum floor. And now open the arms out to the side. So your arms are parallel to the floor, but the elbows are bent slightly. 5 breaths here. Lift the chest. Good. And then release the arms and take your right foot forward and take a breath in Tadasana. And then face the long side of your mat and take your feet out wide for triangle. Turn the right foot out. And if you want to adjust your left foot, you can bring your left toes a little bit more towards the front, towards the right foot. And then lean over the right leg, release the right arm down, and bring the left arm up. Okay, remember, it's not important if you can go down to the floor or not. If you can, that's perfectly fine, if you don't lose the shape. If you find that your chest start turning to the floor, come up. Okay, now, if you feel stable, turn the head and look at your left hand. And then on your inhalation, make big circles with the left arm, following the hand with your eyes. If you feel stable, if that pulls you out of balance, just stay without movement. One more time. And then bring the arm up, left arm up, open the chest a little bit more. Good. And then let's do this. Let's bring the left arm parallel to the floor and come up. And release the arms down, parallel the feet. Just take a breath or two here. The other side, turn the left foot out, adjust your right foot. So your left heel and your right arch or right heel are lined up. And then lean directly sideways over your left leg, release the left arm down. Push that right shoulder back, extend the right arm up, And again, if you feel stable, now tighten up the belly, lift the pelvic floor. That will help with stability. Okay. Now, if you feel stable, you will make 5 large circles with your right arm, following your fingertips with the eyes. With the breath, inhale, exhale. Try to create an expansion here. That's what this arm movement is for, to create even more space and expansions. I lost count. I don't know how many times I rolled the arm. I'll just do one more. And then extending that right arm up. Feeling the strength of your legs, the strength of your base. Breathe here. Good. And then bring your right arm parallel to the floor and come up. Turn to center. Release the arms down. And we're going to take bring your feet a little bit closer, but they're still kind of wide apart, a little bit wider than shoulders. Either hands on the hips or just let the arms hang. And let's take a few resting breaths here. Do not close your eyes here. Just keep softly gazing at the horizon line. Deep, slow, even breaths through the nose. Okay, good. Now, bring your feet to hip distance apart for a few rounds of dynamic chair. Again, this will be a breath-aligned movement. That's your main work here. Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back. Fingertips reach forward. Exhale, exhale, exhale into the forward fold. Hang the head. And then when your inhalation starts, bend the knees, bring the arms alongside the ears. Inhale, 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 reach. And exhale, roll the arms down. Okay, 2 more rounds on your own. Inhale. Exhale. Coming up one last time. And exhale, bring the arms down. Okay. All right, this time we are folding down to the legs, to our Uttanasana, the standing forward fold, and we're staying there. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, slide, bend to the knees. Lengthen the back of the body. Fold, fold, fold. And then bring your hands down wherever they fall. If you can wrap your fingers around your big toes, that's fine. If you can place your hands on the floor, bending the knees as much as you need to. And on the next inhalation, or you can bring the hands to the shins. On the next inhalation, inhale, lift the upper body, extend the spine even more. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Come up. Exhale, fold. Don't throw the head back too much when you're coming up. Exhale, fold. And this time completely hang your upper body from the hips. Relax the shoulders and the arms, the head and the neck. And stay here for a couple of breaths. Keep breathing deeply. Okay, now engage your root lock. Okay, good. So now you will be stepping back into plank. If you need to adjust yourself in regards to where you are on the mat, please do so. But we will meet in plank. And remember, you can always bring the knees down for plank on the knees. Or also, any wrist issues, bring the elbows down. Okay. All right. So let's see what we can do here. Bring your feet together for this one. Now lift the belly. Lift the belly towards the spine. Right? Lift the hips just a little bit more. A little bit. So you're not piking up, but just lift the hips. Right? Okay. And now spread the shoulder blades apart. See what you can do here. And on your next exhalation, come up and back into downward dog. Now take your feet apart to whatever comfortable distance you wish. And staying and resting in down dog. Alternatively, you can bring the knees down and push back into child's pose. So either down dog or child's in the way of rest right now. Breathe. Good. And we're coming back to plank for some side plank variations. Okay. So we're going to be coming on to the right side. Remember, you can bring the right knee down and take this variation of side plank, or knees off the mat, so turn onto your right side and bring your left arm up. Remember, if you need to, you can bring the right knee down. Okay, good. Very strong legs, engage the abs, and now squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good, coming back to center, wherever you are. And then rolling on to the other side, you can bring the left knee down here. Right arm extends up. Squeeze the core. Now pull the shoulder blades toward each other. Good. Come back. Bring the right hand down. Bring the knees down if you haven't already. And come lie down on your belly. Stack your forearms. And place your head down on one side. And relax. Stay in Makarasana, the crocodile position. Now turn your head to the other side. Okay, and now bring the head to center and bring your hands underneath your shoulders or maybe a little bit lower for cobra. Okay, let's keep the feet together for this one. If possible, if you're having any lower back issues, you can take your feet apart. So forehead down, lift the shoulders, squeeze the elbows into the body, and then no weight in the hands. On the inhalation, come up into gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Next inhalation, bring the legs, just the legs up. and lower on the exhalation. Okay, now back to the front of the body, cobra, no weight in the hands. On the inhalation, lift the chest and the head and stay for one breath. Inhale, come up, exhale in the pose. Now inhale in the pose, and on the next exhalation, come down. Now the legs. Same thing, staying for one full breath. Inhale, lift the legs, then exhale and inhale in the pose. And then on the exhalation, bring the legs down. Okay, again, now back to the front, cobra, but now staying for 2 breaths. And lower on the exhalation. And now the legs for locust pose. On the inhalation, bring the legs up. Try to keep the legs straight and together if you can. Staying for 2 breaths. And on the exhalation, bring the legs down. Good. And that's good enough. Rest. Okay. And now come up into either downward facing dog to stretch out the back of the body, or to puppy dog pose like this. And bring the knees down. If you're in downward dog, come sit on your heels just for a moment. Again, if possible. If not, sit in Sukhasana just for a moment of observation. Close your eyes. Observe yourself. Notice how you feel. Okay. And now let's come sit in Dandasana, the staff position. So legs together, extended in front of you, feet flexed, hands to the sides of the hips. The upper body is vertical. Again, length, reach out through the crown of the head, shoulders down, abs in. Okay. Now I'm going to offer you a low boat. So the low boat is when you hold the legs and the upper body off the mat, and your eyes are at the and the toes are at the same level, right? If this is too much, you can lower the feet down and just hold the upper body up, or yeah, like that. Okay, let's see. Just do what you can here. We're not going to hold very long. Okay, so take whatever variation you're doing, either both ends or just the upper body, then holding for 3 breaths. Now bring the heels down, and on the inhalation, come sit up. Reach the arms up. Good. And back to low boat, your variation, 3 breaths. Fresia. And on the next inhalation, heels down, come sit up, reach up, long, long, long. And one more time into low boat, 3 breaths, or you can take a break. And inhale, come up. And release the arms down. Okay. Let's take a couple of resting breaths here in Dandasana. Okay. On the next inhalation, reach the arms up, even the shoulders. You know how most of the time I ask you to keep the shoulders down, but reach out through the fingertips. So this time, reach through your whole upper body, including the shoulders, like somebody's pulling you up by your wrists. Breathe. And on your next exhalation, start folding forward. Bend the knees. Even if you're flexible, bend the knees slightly. And on the exhalation, fold over the legs. Inhale, come up. Keep the upper arms glued to the ears. Again, exhale, fold. Reach forward. Inhale, come up. One more time. The toes are pointing up. And this time, exhale, fold. Relax your arms, relax your hands. You can straighten the legs if you wish, or keep the knees bent. And we're staying in Paschimottanasana. Maintain the length in the spine here. Pull the belly button in as you exhale. Now see if you can slide your shoulder blades down the spine here in this position. Just be conscious of not overstretching the lower back. To counter that, if you feel like there's too much stretch in your lower back, bend the knees. Good. Okay, and now we're gonna come up on the inhalation with the arms next to the ears. So bring the arms into position. And then on the inhalation, come up, stretch, reach. And then exhale, bring the arms down. Okay. And now come sit in a comfortable seated position. Okay, we're going to use this seated position to further lengthen the spine and create space in the upper body. So that's with that in mind, find your comfortable seated position. You can close your eyes here or not. Now focus on your breath and use your breath to further lengthen the spine and also to create more stability in your seated position. Once you become stable in this pose, in your seated posture, focus even more on your breathing and deepen your inhalation and exhalation. And shape your breath in the way that both inhalation and exhalation are even in length. And as slow as possible. So make your breath as slow as possible at this time. also complete. So you're inhaling as deep as you can and then exhaling as completely as possible. Your body is comfortable and steady. We're staying here for about 1 minute or so. Okay, you can continue staying here and breathing like this, or I'm gonna offer you a one of the bandhas, actually two, to contain and compress and spread the energy in the body. So it's not for everybody because I'm gonna ask you to hold the breath, and you never ever have to hold the breath if you don't want to. But for those of you who would like to venture into this, and we're gonna hold the breath for about 10 seconds. Again, if this does not work for you, please don't do this. Okay, so engage the root lock. So lift up the perineum floor, hold, and then tuck the chin in for the chin lock. Take a deep inhalation, so hold the root lock and the chin lock. And exhale. So this type of locks are really serious business. So if you have anything that some kind of a it creates a lot of pressure in the body, in the head. So if there's anything with you that you have doubts about doing that type of thing, please don't do this. Okay. All right. Now relax, relax. And when you're ready, come lie down on the floor. Okay, let's do some closing poses. Extend your left leg on the mat, bring your right knee in, and strongly pull the legs away from each other. So you're reaching forward through your left foot, pulling the right knee into the chest. But try to relax the shoulders here. Okay, now let's take that right knee across the body and come a little bit more onto the side of your left hip, right? And then bring both arms together, like stack your arms in front of your face. So you're on your left side now. Okay. And then when you're ready, on the inhalation, bring that right arm back. So, but your right shoulder is not on the floor, it's hanging. Then bring your left hand on top of your right knee and create a strong connection. So you feel the engagement of the core muscles there. And this is where we are staying. You can turn the head to look up, or maybe even to the right, if that's okay. Or just, so the head is wherever you want it. But do keep this connection with your knee and hand. Breathe. And then release everything. Come onto your back. A resting breath here. Extending the right leg on the mat. Hug your left knee into the chest and pull the legs away from each other. And now let's take our left knee across the body, rolling over onto your right side, and then extending your, turn around here. Okay. And then on the inhalation, bring your left arm to the back. So your left shoulder is hanging, it's not on the ground. Right hand on the left knee, and then push the knee and the hand into each other. Keep that engagement. And then find where you want to have your head and breathe. Good. And release. Roll onto your back. Just flatten your back on the mat just a little bit. So lift the tailbone off the mat. So your sacrum is on the floor, on the mat. Good. And then relax. So let your spine come to its natural position. If there's anything else that you need to do, that maybe like a groin stretch, maybe a happy baby or wind relieving pose, something like that, feel free. And then start getting yourself, take your time. There's plenty of time. So if you're still finishing up your poses, please do so. But then find your Shavasana. And again, try to stay in Shavasana for the relaxation, or as close to Shavasana as possible. If you need support under your knees, you can. You can put a bolster under your knees, you can put some support under your head and neck, but try to be as close to lying on your back as possible. But remember, I know that for some of you, it's really not comfortable lying flat on the back. So the most important thing for you here is to be able to relax. If you need to change your Shavasana completely, please do so. But if you can, be in Shavasana. I'm just going to give you a few moments to make yourself comfortable and warm, maybe a blanket, maybe socks, or an extra jacket, shirt, scarf. Once you've made yourself comfortable, find your breath and let your breath become comfortable and smooth. And now begin to notice the inner space of your body. And now begin to notice the space around you, outside of your body, but next to you. Notice where the space of your body ends and the space around you begins. Relax. Now sense that space as an ocean of healing and vitality. Long time ago, the ancient yogis noticed that we're surrounded by this energy field that is capable of completely recharging and re-energizing us. As you breathe in, sense this vital force as light and healing moving towards your spine. And as you breathe out, sense it moving out of your spine, expanding into the space outside of you. As this energy moves in, it regenerates every cell of the spine, and as it moves out, it heals every cell of the body and the spine. Relax and feel this expansion and contraction. See the body and the spine receiving this vital force. Eventually, your body will feel so saturated, so absorbed in this vital current that you will no longer need to do this exercise. We use this technique. You'll just rest in this life force, prana that surrounds you, envelops you, and your body will be able to completely absorb it without any effort. Continue to rest just a little bit longer. Now feel free to stay in your relaxation as long as you wish. If you are ready to come out, bend your knees and roll over to one side and pause there for a moment for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, come up into a comfortable seated position. I invite you to join me in the closing ceremony. We will chant one Om and then the peace invocation. So please feel free to join me in any which way you like, either chanting out loud with me, or silently to yourself, or just listen. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.